Welcome to Ladies Group Chat, where dating scams, celebrity chaos, and internet money all collide. If someone sends you an AI birthday card, lives on Instagram, and says they have no digital footprint, absolutely do not marry them. This episode is basically a guide to spotting fraud online and off. The dating advice that actually matters right now is less about texting rules and more about basic investigation. Quoted Google searches, reverse image lookups, checking old pages of search results, and using phone number or data broker sites can tell you a lot before you ever decide somebody is trustworthy. And honestly, in 2026, no online footprint at all is not mysterious and sexy. It's weird. If somebody has no community, no tagged friends, inconsistent timelines, constant last-minute cancellations, or stories that keep shifting, that is your cue to slow all the way down. The really grim part is that a lot of manipulative behavior can look romantic at first. Early trauma dumping, huge emotional intimacy before real consistency, keeping people on the back burner, cancelling right before commitment. Some people are addicted to the fantasy of dating, not the reality of showing up. And screenshots are not gospel anymore. Between AI, Canva, Photoshop, whatever. A fake chat log is basically a casual arts and crafts project now. So if you're trying to verify something, corroborate it somewhere else. One screenshot is evidence the way one eyelash extension on your sink is evidence. It suggests a story. It is not the whole case. That rolls right into the AI intimacy question, which is somehow both funny and bleak. One example was using ChatGPT to draft a birthday card, and I think the reaction really does depend on intent. If you're using it to organize your thoughts and then making it personal, okay, maybe. If you're outsourcing the emotional labor entirely, that is spiritually ugly. People can feel the difference between help and delegation, especially in relationships. AI is also doing the classic dual-use thing. Investigators can use it to synthesize records faster, but scammers and abusers can use it to impersonate people, fake evidence, and muddy the truth. So now the problem isn't just figuring out whether someone is lying, it's figuring out whether the proof is lying too. Speaking of truth getting mangled, reality TV is still playing God in the edit bay. One of the sharpest points here is that shows like Love is Blind often flatten politics out of dating, even though in real life politics can absolutely be a deal breaker. Then suddenly, a rare political scene makes the cut, like praise for a Trump vote, and it lands with extra force because the show usually acts like none of this exists. That's not authenticity, that's selective reality. The bigger ethical issue is producers building conflict because conflict is the product, push the confrontation, frame somebody as the villain, turn private relationship damage into public content therapy, and now real people's lives are serving an arc. And when scripted projects dramatize living people and invent bad behavior, that gets even uglier. Daryl Hannah criticizing Love Story for fictionalizing still living figures makes total sense. If the person is alive, you are not just creating drama. You can be damaging a real reputation for entertainment. The creator economy continues to be very glamorous until you hear literally anything about the finances. A lot of creators are trying to get off the single-platform hamster wheel. Food creators are building on Substack. Podcasters are leaning on Patreon. Some people are self-publishing first just to prove demand before talking to traditional publishers. That part actually makes sense. Platforms keep changing rules. Links break. Apps make it annoying to leave. Ad money moves around. So of course, creators want to own the relationship and the checkout flow. But the cash flow is chaotic, and young creators are getting money in random bursts with almost no structure around it. The example of someone burning through a $75,000 brand budget is painful, but also very believable in an economy built on sudden checks and vibes. Influencer houses make that worse. Rent-free setups and brand deals sound amazing until you realize it's basically content boarding school with gossip, quotas, and month-to-month status panic. And virality is so random, a tiny aesthetic move, one pout clip, suddenly millions of views. That's a terrible system for teaching anyone long-term planning. What I liked here is that the answer wasn't fake wellness language, it was practical. Creators need recharge days before filming. They need to be pickier about travel, events, and all the stuff that looks good online but eats your entire nervous system in real life. They also need room to evolve as their audience grows up. If your followers are aging with you, your content should too. Panicking over short-term metrics while pretending you're still the same person from 5 years ago is how you end up trapped by your own brand. And the friendship rule of matching energy is so real. Not every relationship deserves unlimited access to your time just because they have your number. Also, hobbies matter. Painting a wall, journaling, cooking one specific recipe, doing something with no algorithm attached to it. That is not trivial. That is identity maintenance. The celebrity safety stories were genuinely scary. Rachel Zoe's burglary and the shooting into Rihanna's mansion are reminders that fame is not just annoying, it can become physically dangerous, and families are living with that psychological fallout too. Then you add social media oversharing, and the risk gets even more obvious. Multiple Bravo people were reportedly burgled after posting that they were away. At a certain point, posting your exact location in real time is just free logistical support for criminals. I know visibility is part of the job, but some of this really is basic safety hygiene. On a lighter, but still stressful note, live performance tech failures are their own kind of nightmare. Alex Warren, thinking 20,000 phones may have interfered with his in-ear system, leaving him with basically a mono feed, is the kind of sentence that makes me want to lie down. But this is where composure becomes the whole story. If the artist keeps going, the disaster can flip into a resilience moment instead of just a flop. Apparently, the backstage clip went massively viral, which makes sense because audiences love competence under pressure and love dragging production teams that don't have a backup plan. 2 quick things before we go. First, celebrity ventures keep following the same arc. Huge launch, big headlines, then a weird stall. Harry and Meghan's As Ever losing its Netflix partner fits that pattern, and the Meghan retreat getting called a cash grab shows how fast public monetization turns into public resentment. Even rich, famous people feel pressure to keep monetizing, but that doesn't mean the audience has to find every jam, podcast, retreat, and lifestyle drop charming. Second, daylight saving time remains one of society's dumbest recurring little attacks on happiness. Losing an hour wrecks sleep, family routines, and tiny plans that actually matter, and the old justifications feel completely stale. Modern life has electricity. We can stop acting like this is a sacred agricultural ritual. That's it for today's ladies group chat. Stay suspicious of screenshots, protect your peace, and maybe don't post your vacation in real time. Talk soon. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.